This is Jack Rebney. This show is called The Offenders. It contains foul language. So, Tony, will you do me a favor? Will you? Will you do me a kindness? And if you're easily offended, don't listen to the fucking show! No more! You want to do the intro?
You fucked up the fuck up. You fuck up.
Welcome to The Offenders. My name's Evan, but you know that.
Not if they're a first time listener. And once again, he doesn't introduce me. My name is Shane.
That's why I was looking directly at you.
It doesn't matter. I was looking away.
You got to pay attention, man. This is a professional podcast.
So
what do you want to talk about? We have a guest today.
Very special guest.
A very special guest, but not in that he requires extra attention, but more like he would get a reward before you were supposed to get rewards when you actually earned them.
That's right, I said it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Lucky Hawk.
BlankManInc.com, iRake Radio. That's where you can find me.
Where else?
I don't know. Probably YouPorn. I have a few videos.
You do?
Yeah.
Do you ever? One of my favorite things to do. You can't go in there when you're ready to jerk off because it just won't work. But just to go in there and read the comments because it's always like an Arabian man. It'll be like Alek al Hag Kabar, and it's like, you have beautiful nipple. I want my penis touch you. And it's like they think they're talking directly to the woman, and it's just it's adorable.
You should
and
publish
hilarious.
a book of that.
That's a good idea. That's a good. We might have to take that out
Okay.
so we can copyright it first.
Yeah, don't tell anyone.
Yeah. Now, Michael. Whoops.
You fucked it up immediately.
Immediately.
Lucky Hawk. We won't tell you that his last name is Michael. I mean, Lucky Hawk.
Jesus Christ.
What are you drinking today?
I'm drinking a delicious and refreshing Leinenkugel's grapefruit shandy.
So that belongs to both Line and Kugel?
Lein and Kugel from the established Leinenkugel family of brewers.
Oh, that's like one German name. I thought it was like two dudes. I'm Line, I'm
I
Kugel.
don't want to say if it's German or not. I don't know.
What would you say, Shane? Line and Kugel sounds pretty German.
It does seem like it's German.
Let me look at this bottle.
know,
Hold
you're-
on.
But wouldn't it be lean?
We're looking at it.
Wouldn't it be lean in Google?
Leinenkugel. It's the pride of Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin since 1867. What was the pride of Chippewa Falls in 1865? That's what I want to know.
I think slavery was.
Well, there you go. And then they were like, you know what? We can't be proud of slavery anymore. Let's make a shanty beer. Did I say that right?
I think you did.
Now I want to make a whole story out of that. It's like, well, I was proud, but I'll tell you, those slaves look very thirsty. If we only had a delicious beer to refresh them, I think we could get a lot more productivity out of them.
You there! You look as if you would require a nice, refreshing grapefruit shanty beer from me, Jimmy Leinenkugel. Wait, that's not a very German name. What's a good German name?
German name?
Adolf is a good one.
Oh, you have another. What is this?
This is Athens, Georgia's own.
Athens, Georgia. Where's Athens?
Athens, Georgia.
Oh, it belongs to Athens. Okay.
Plural, yes.
A tropical beer.
Tropicalia.
Is this like the Hawaiian punch of beers that you're enjoying?
No, you would not enjoy it.
I wouldn't enjoy
whatsoever.
any beer, but
I think you could stomach a shandy, but I don't think an Indian Pale Ale or IPA, as the beer snobs say. I don't think you'd be able
and if I was going to drink one, it would be a Broken Skull Ale from... What the fuck's the name of his...
I don't know.
I can't remember. Go buy Stone Cold's beer because Stone Cold put it out.
Good luck finding it.
Yeah, it's somewhere in Encino Bay or some shit. But it's got a picture of the skull that he had on his vest, so you should buy it just for that reason. Okay.
Yes.
Shane and I are not drinkers, right?
Okay.
So will you kind of break down the different types of alcohol for those of us who don't know it
Alcohol
and those
or
other
beer
listeners? Like,
or
because you
what?
got you've got Pilsners, you've got the Shanty,
Yeah.
the Indian Pale Ale. What's the difference in all of these things?
You know, I'm a professional drinker. I'm not a brewer though, so I'm not.
He's
sure
not a beerologist.
Yeah, I'm no beerologist.
Now, no joke. Did you just make that up, or is that what it's called?
I'm pretty sure
There
that's
probably
what
is
it's called.
something like that. I don't know if
Okay.
that's the name, but there's something like it.
I will say the IPAs are very hoppy.
Does that mean they
Poppies
jump
are-
around in your stomach a lot?
They do.
That's
And,
how you hurt your legs.
That's exactly.
You drink too many beers at
You
the
hurt your leg.
concert,
Yeah.
and then Lucky Hawk can't take flight.
No.
That's what it is.
No.
So, it's when did fruit beer become a thing, man? Because I was
Well, we just discussed that Kugel is
1865. is there a date on that one? What's it called again? What did you say?
this is Creature Comfort Brewing Company,
Okay.
which is delicious. But I think they're relatively new. I guess I don't know. They're not hundreds of years old.
I noticed they have some palm trees, and that's where the tropical comes in. Is that a dolphin on the front? Or?
That's a lady. She's resting
Oh,
in
hey,
the,
can you
in
see
the
her
tropical
boobs?
water.
See a bikini?
If you
That's
look
nice.
hard enough, you can see a bikini. Yeah,
I look really hard.
and that's why I drink.
Yeah, to look hard enough. You know, it'd be a good idea. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Ecto Cooler's coming back out. You know that,
Oh,
right?
yeah, of course, absolutely.
They have a special can that when it gets cold, the letters turn green, but when it's regular, they're just white. What if you could make a beer that when it's cold, the fucking bikini vanishes? Like the old, remember those pins you used to get at Spencer Gifts?
Oh,
You would
yeah.
rub them, and you would see the titty nipples.
I think you're onto something, Evan.
I know.
That's true.
So you need to make the Lucky
I'm gonna
Hawk
call-
Indian Pale Ale titty nipple beer.
I'm gonna get on it. I'll call my guy. I'll get it going.
So he's got a guy. That's why we know we got a good guest. That's why you got a good guest today. We got a guy who knows a guy. But today we just wanted to bring him over because he gave us a nice little shout out on iRake Radio, which I definitely enjoy. Where can people find iRake Radio?
Well, you can find it several places, but go to blankmaninc.com. That's where you're gonna always see the latest episode.
And one of our previous guests, Maestro Awesome McKickass, also has a couple of videos and articles up there as well. If I
He
recall.
does. He does.
Yes. You guys have a couple of guest contributors there, right?
We do. We have a few. We're working on some things.
Some things, okay,
Get some irons in the fire.
All right. Things are hot. We
But
see. So
the
what all
I-
do people do at Blank Man Inc? What's a good thing to do there? Look,
You can read. You can view.
read. That's good.
View. Listen.
Listen.
Well, that's a good thing.
What things are within the blankmaninc.com?
Well, we have some articles, some reviews, a lot of top 10 lists.
Do you review tampons?
I don't because I know we've known each other several years,
Yes.
but you may not have known this. Don't have a vagina.
Well, you do have a beard sometimes, but I didn't want to be insensitive to your gender, and you could have been Russian.
Good point.
You
Good
know?
point.
I don't like to cast judgment. You know?
No.
Let's be in a hurry have to do anything. That's what I want to know.
That's a good point. So, listeners, what did you say?
What are you
Exactly.
talking about? No, I'm talking about
Am I drinking beer?
This
What's
Russian
going on?
what does being in a hurry have to do with anything?
That's what I'm talking about.
We were going to talk
Russian!
about,
That went right over my head! God damn it. That was great.
That's true.
You ninja'd me with that one.
So we were going to talk about video games as well,
Yes.
and that made me think about it because if you'll remember, there was a game called RUSH apostrophe N attack.
Yes.
There was supposed to be Russian attack, but they didn't want to actually put Russian on there because they didn't want to offend anybody. So they just put Rush in attack.
But they had no problems giving them the big fucking furry
Right.
hats and the giant furry
Yes.
coats.
It's like, everyone will know. I know. That's the reason.
It's a terrible game, too, by the way.
I really enjoyed it.
Really?
It's
Until the second stage,
It was
which I
hard.
never got
You
past.
just
And
run and knife.
it was a
Rush and attack.
Oh, okay.
Originally, I
see what
believe-
they're doing there. Yeah.
That game was called Green Beret in Japan, wasn't it?
Perhaps.
I think it was called Green Beret. And then
they-
they brought it over here and they were like, hey guys, Russian attack? They're all going to buy that. Russian attack.
I didn't even realize it till years later that's what it was.
Yeah.
As a kid, I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to play Russian Attack.
They recently remade that within the past 5 or 6 years, didn't they?
Did they?
Yeah, they made.
Is it still fucking impossible?
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. But yeah, what we wanted to talk about today, besides the differences between beers, and well, hold on, we were in the middle of Blank Man Inc. I don't want to cut you off on your shit.
No.
What all is at Blank Man Inc.? What can people see there? What kind of reviews? Not tampons. We know
No
that now.
tampons. Pop culture. It's a pop culture website.
Okay.
If you like pop culture, so
Do you interview Paula Abdul?
I've not talked to Paula Abdul.
Who have you interviewed?
We've got some interviews on there. The late great Odorous Urungus.
Yes.
Interviewed a few years ago.
Fish fuck baby. I'm gonna fuck you with a fish.
Mm-hmm.
One of the greats by Guar.
Just go there. Just go there.
Go there. Yeah, pause the podcast right now. Go look around.
Or you can listen and view.
No, because then they won't be able to read. Go ahead and pause it and go to Blank Man Inc.
I'll be unable to read.
That's BlankManinc.com.
Okay, now go look. Okay, welcome back to the podcast. We hope you enjoyed BlankManinc.com and the 3 hours that you were gone. Man, they really liked your website, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, well, thanks, guys. Thanks.
I hope now what else? What else? You said you do iRake, and you can get that there.
Yeah.
And
which is a wrestling podcast. I don't think we mentioned that.
Yes.
It's all about wrestling.
It's you and one other
That's good
fellow.
because every time I just imagine like someone's like, $20, I'll rake your yard, no problem.
I rake for you.
No, it's actually a new game. You know how you have like Angry Birds? What you do is you just rake leaves, and the faster that you rake the leaves, the more points you get. And then you just if you want to get a better rake, you have to charge it to your Verizon bill.
That's probably $1 million idea. You just came up with.
I know. I've got all of them today. So don't steal any of these ideas. And if you do, just buy us some pizzas every day for the rest of our lives or something.
I was talking with someone else yesterday about curling and how that's some mother's trick to get their kids to like clean up their house. Because that's the one you slide the thing across the floor, you got to clean in front of it.
Yeah.
Curling. Where do you do that? That's like Alaska.
Canada.
Yeah,
Canada.
The Great White North is where you do that.
It's just like America, but without guns. But that was a Kids in the Hall joke, not mine. Not mine. Kids in the Hall, 100%. So, anything else you want to plug? iRake Radio. Oh, who else is on iRake Radio with you?
That would be Adam Johnson.
Okay. Is that it? Is that his stage name?
Adam.
Adam.
Adam is his stage name.
Okay.
But, whatever.
Because stage names are very important. Lucky Hawk?
Stage name, or as I call it, pin name.
Pen name. Pen pals.
Yeah, pin
Remember,
pals.
did you guys ever have any pen pals? I had a Swedish one in 4th grade.
I think I wrote one letter to one person one
I
time.
think I might have wrote 2 letters to the...
Are we pen pals? Was it me?
No, I don't think so. Don't think so.
You both have this... Holy crap, there's been a lot of Michaels on this podcast. I just realized
Michael is a very popular name.
I know.
It is.
There's going to be more Michaels.
Michael
before it's
Landon
over.
was here the other day.
Yeah, well, that's how he got here. Landon.
Oh.
Michael Walken. Michael Skaten. That's a good last name, Skaten. Yeah. You have to differentiate. It's like I was on a skateboard, not roller skates. Definitely not rollerblades. Did you guys rollerblade?
About ice skating.
Ice skating?
About skating the issue.
What does that mean?
Nothing. I think it's skirting the issue. But I
It depends on what part of the country you're from. Quit skating the issue already. He's skating it.
Skate.
So skating, back to the point. Let's talk about some awesome video games. 720. You guys remember 720?
I do.
Yeah.
It was the game.
He wanted the arcade, not the console version.
No,
That was not good.
You can't replicate that because of the joystick.
Right.
It was basically it was one of the first games where you had entire control of the full range of motion instead of just up, down, left, right. There was like diagonal and you could skate up and down. And if you fucked up and you were just like, I don't know what I'm doing, eventually bees would try to kill you. And if you avoided them, the fucking Grim Reaper would show up.
So just like real life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Was it made by the same people who made Paperboy? Because they both had bees and death.
It's just because that was the era where everything in the universe hated you. That's what every game was.
Especially bees.
Yeah.
Yes.
But boy, did we turn it around on the bees. Now they're almost distinct dumbasses.
That's the years of Nintendo games.
Yeah.
Caused
Who's
everybody.
laughing now, bees?
Exactly. I wouldn't want to be you guys.
I don't get it.
Be is a term of reference for something that is. I wouldn't want to is you guys.
That is humor.
It is.
That is
Thank you.
humor.
Thank you. Isn't it? Wow, it's hard to explain what be means.
What's a bee?
There's lots of things like that.
Yeah.
There's
Can
lots
you
of
just
things.
explain what is means? Yeah, it's when something shit.
Yeah.
What is the thee?
The
Thee.
it is.
Please explain thee.
The is a word that we use to explain the property of the thing that we're about. It's a title of the.
It's a generic description.
You can't.
It's
can't
a
describe
generic-
thee without saying
Let's
thee.
see. It's a generic description of the. Damn! I put it in there. You don't even think about that word. It's so hard.
Son of a bitch. Okay, back to video games. So 720 is a great game. What are some other great arcade games that people have slept on that might not know? For all you young kids out there.
Let's see. What are.
I'm going to throw one in there. Violent Storm, which I just introduced you to. You two too.
You two too?
It's basically Konami's ripoff of Final Fight, but the thing that makes it so awesome is it has very interactive backgrounds. As they saw, there's a train stage, and there's homeless squatters in the train, and just by walking by and punching, they will fall out of the train and you can kill them. There's pigs in there, little baby pigs, and when you kick them, they turn into footballs, which you can throw at your enemies. I didn't make it to the third stage, but it has the awesomest bad 90s rap where it's like, hello, my name is Jim. I'm here to punch you in the chin. And it's just like really dumb. It sounds like there was a Japanese guy who thought he was hip and then he tried to make this soundtrack and it was just wrong. And it's just so great. That's what makes it, the fact that it has so many misses as opposed to hits is why I prefer it over Final Fight. It's got character. You know what I mean? It's got character.
It's bold.
It
Very
is.
bold.
It's very bold. Lots of shades of the era. Like everybody is wearing very bright colors. There's a guy named Gigadeath. He has like super long purple hair and like a biker jacket and a chain he attacks you with.
So it's like a gig instead of a mag.
Like he plays gigs because he's in a band.
Oh, I get it. I get it.
And when you go to his show, it's the Gigadeath. It's the last one you're gonna go to.
I see.
But it's a beat 'em up game like Final Fight. You can acquire almost any of these arcade games are now available on the internet.
Illegally, might I add.
Yes, they're called ROMs. You can acquire them with a program called Multi Arcade Machine Emulation (MAME), which is how I acquired them. But yes, it is highly illegal. Highly illegal. But
Well,
you know,
pretty sure Konami's not going to knock down your door.
let's hope not. Fingers crossed. Maybe they'll just knock on the door and be like, "Hey, thanks for playing that game." 'Cause nobody else did.
Don't they make like phone games now and not even make regular?
Yeah, right. So it's. I'll be like, "Hey guys, this is on a laptop." So
Yeah, screw you, Konami.
yeah. Oh my goodness. I mean, just give me a break.
Don't you want to play temperamental avians instead of a beat 'em up?
Temperamental avians. That's like when. Remember when Blockbuster Video would have the bullshit version of the movie that came out instead of Transformers, they'd have Terraformers or whatever it was, Transmorphers. Terraformers is that cockroach guy anime, right, where they rip people in half.
I don't know.
There's my nerd card, everybody.
I don't think.
Yeah,
I've heard of it.
Terraformers is an anime about these giant cockroach insects that just completely rip people in half.
Was it a
It's awesome.
hentai or was it?
No, it wasn't a Sentai either.
I mean, I guess
It
anything
wasn't,
could be.
okay.
Yeah, if you like Vor, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's more blood. But anyway, back to things that people actually want to hear about instead of bloody anime. So that's that. Violent Storm, I recommend. What are some other good games? Let's stick to arcade games because we're old school. What's some other good arcade games?
What's that one that I always ask you what the fucking name of it is because I never remember? It's like something another Fists of Steel.
Kageki, Fist of
Oh
Steel.
no, I
That's
love
it.
that game.
Yeah,
It's great.
That was at Aladdin's Castle, which was our local arcade
Yeah.
game.
I've never played the arcade version, but I have been a diehard fan of that Sega game
Sega Genesis.
forever.
A fairly faithful port. It had like the same characters and the voices were very similar. Like when you died, it'd be like, "Come on, guys."
Oh, he's not bad.
Yeah. And it's one of those games where you have to figure out exactly how to beat the boss because they all have a pattern. If you
Yeah.
don't learn that pattern, you're fucked.
Yeah, no, that game is like, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. It's better than Mike Tyson's Punch Out because
Ooh.
you can move all around.
Yeah, full 360-degree
Yeah, you
movement.
can. There's more to it.
It's almost a bird's eye view. It's not quite high enough, but it's like an overhead game, so you can like walk in full circles, kind of like the old Ring King game on Nintendo. But this one is like you were like basically a degenerate street fighter in the 80s Japan, and you had to fight all these like these Bosuzoku, which are like Japanese biker gangs. And I'm trying to remember. The first guy was like just a dude in a yellow coat with a punch perm, which was very popular with the degenerates back in the day. And then you fought like a guy with one of the masks on.
Yeah.
And eventually you got to the motherfucker that everybody hated, which was the guy who had the fucking...
Sandbags?
Yeah, and he'd just be like, well, bam, 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 bam.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, you motherfucker! Ugh.
Old sandbags.
You had to fight like up each level of a skyscraper.
Yeah.
And if you got beat, they'd throw you down the sewer. at the
Yeah,
very
and
top.
laugh at you.
Yeah.
Man, what a good game! What a good game.
Yeah, Kageki, Fist of Steel. You can pick it up on Genesis, or you can find the arcade game. But that was a pretty revolutionary undersold game.
As a Japanese speaker yourself,
Skoshi. Little
Kageki.
bit. Kageki.
Okay, because eight-year-old Lucky Hawk always said Kajiki, but
Kajiki.
but then again, I don't speak Japanese.
Well, here's another language tip for you. Everybody likes to say certain people like to say my favorite basketball team is the Boston Celtics. Wrong! There are no soft C's in the Celtic language, which is Gaelic, so it's Boston Celtics. There you go. A little language lesson for everybody. Use that at trivia, get some hot wings, hook your boy up. Okay, so Kageki, Fists of Steel. That's another good one. What about you, Lucky Hawk?
Well, I
Think
know...
Aladdin's Castle.
Oh, think back to Aladdin's castle.
Turning into the Macho Man.
Oh
Thinking back to Aladdin's Castle,
and Spice.
If you come in here and get your birthday party, I'll give you a fanny pack, and it's gonna have little Slim Jims in it. Did you ever have a birthday party there?
I didn't.
I did, and it was the most... There are times in your life, let me tell you, there are times in your life when you were younger, and you might not have had a lot of friends, and you might have felt bad. And that was the case with me, except this one time. And let me tell you, there was this contest for Bubble Yum Bubblegum. You remember
Are we on
that?
NPR all of a sudden?
We are.
Okay.
Yes. So there was the Bubblegum Bubble Blowing Contest.
Oh.
Where did those contests go?
Did you blow the best?
I did not. I did not. But this was good because I forget what the first prize was and what the second prize was, but I got the third prize.
Whoa.
And that was a free birthday party.
Whoa.
And I went there, and since I went there all the time, I got there and I invited a bunch of people, and only one person showed up. And you're just like, oh, that must be terrible. No, because I got all the tokens except for one roll. And they gave me a fanny pack. That's what reminded me of it. And it was full of tokens as well.
Yes.
And I was like, this is the best birthday party ever. I wish the person who showed up didn't come.
Exactly. It was like you would pay $60. You show up an hour before the mall opens. You get a shitload of like $5 worth of coins each, and then the birthday boy or girl gets the neon pink Aladdin's Castle fanny pack, which has all the tokens in it and a thing of bubble gum, Bubble Yum bubble gum.
It was fantastic.
Yeah, that was like one of the first places I actually talked to you because we went to school together, and then I saw you at one of my birthdays. Like you were the first person at the arcade when they opened the doors. I was like, "Hey, Shane from school, cool."
Yep.
Yeah,
Now here we are.
and here we are. Thank you, Aladdin's Castle. So back to the games. What do you remember from Aladdin's Castle?
I don't know if this game was at Aladdin's Castle, but
That's
I think one of the it's a popular game, but I think among kids it was kind of a lesser known game because it was kind of exclusive. It seemed exclusive to arcades, and that's Samurai Showdown.
Oh man. I remember
High five.
that was at Aladdin's Castle as well. I remember playing it.
Yeah, I remember it being at Walmart.
Yeah, Nippon Shobu. And you hit the fucking buttons all fast when your swords are crossed.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that shit, man.
Was that the one with Galford?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
what I played.
Papi.
I mean, it was very different to Street Fighter that was hugely popular at the time. It was wildly alternative compared to that. So I don't know.
Number one, it was a feudal ages game.
Yeah.
You had and each of the countries had their representation. You had France had what was her name? Charlotte. Then you had like 100 people from Japan, of course. Then you had the American Ninja, which was not Michael Dudikoff; it was actually Galford. And it was a lot of fun because that game. One of the things that separated it from other games is like if the last attack of the match was with your weapon on a strong attack, it would go like old school samurai film, and it'd go, and you would just see blood shoot out of the thing, just like, and they'd fall over, and then you could just be like, I killed you.
Yeah, they did have that at Atlantis Castle because they had it on the Neo Geo, the big
MVS. Yeah.
That's right.
Those were like that was like the bonus when you could find a SNK Neo Geo MVS. It's like awesome. 4 games in 1. All of them are great, except for that bullshit golf game. 3 games, okay.
Oh man.
But yeah.
Well,
I was really good. I was really good with Hanzo. Hattori Hanzo on that game.
What speaking of Aladdin's Castle, I think one thing that kids don't realize today is that arcades were essentially bars.
Yeah.
Like kids would be smoking in there. You'd have like drunk people. You could buy some pot in there if that's your thing. It was a seedy joint.
Yeah, and a lot of us were raised in that environment.
Yes.
Like specifically, my dad would drop me off at Putt Putt after school for like hours, and I would just go to Putt Putt, which was like this mini golf place. Like outside, you'd have mini golf, and then inside there was like a ton of video games. You could buy hot dogs and sodas. It was great, and I would just spend like 4 or 5 hours a day in this arcade playing video games with a bunch of strangers.
Yep.
Never once was I put in a van and raped. Thank goodness.
No, not one molestation.
Not one molestation.
Putt-Putt was the days of the old ass printouts like this long, like I can't show you, 7 foot of paper for the new Mortal Kombat game. Which one of these fatalities are actually real? Let's go through them.
Mortal Kombat. Oh man, the fucking day that game came out changed everybody's life. If you were alive during that time, it was crazy because before that, the most intense shit was like Samurai Showdown. There's a little bit of blood on this game. You're fucking ripping people's heads off, and their spinal column came with it.
Yeah.
Because like decapitating is not enough. You have to pull the spine out as well. I remember the first time I saw that fatality, I couldn't even talk. I was just like.
And it wasn't drawn; they were photos of this stuff. So it was like, this is real, man.
Yeah,
this is
real. And I remember I was so fucking terrible at the dragon punch motion. Like I was a fireball guy, and everybody would just be like, "Walk towards him and throw a fireball," and I'd do it. And every time I tried to do that fatality, I'd just punch him right in the jaw and get so fucking mad.
I still suck at fatalities. Like to this day, I'm not that good.
Did either of you ever pull off the Johnny Cage multiple head fatality?
Once at the arcade.
I was good at getting 2, but I could never get 3. They would always fall over while I was doing the third motion. It was a glitch in the game where if you did it just at the right time, 4 high punch, you would knock off the first head, and then you do it real fast again, and it knocks the second one off on the way down. And if you could do it super fast, it would catch the last one on the way down, but I only got 2. 2 was easy, but 3, never.
No, I never did that. That's news.
Yeah. Mortal Kombat. That was another great one. That really changed the face of the game.
No one played Mortal Kombat.
No. What are some other like weird, lesser known video games?
I don't know which ones are lesser known, but I know the ones I played at Aladdin's Castle that I liked.
Let's go with some of those.
The Ghostbusters game.
Ghostbusters game.
Had the 4 controllers. You never played it?
No, I don't know what's shocking.
Was it real Ghostbusters based off the cartoon?
No, it was just a Ghostbusters game.
I totally missed that one.
They had 4 controllers, so you could play each one could play a Ghostbuster, and it went like you walked vertically up the screen. You went up instead of back and forth.
Oh, okay.
And it was I think it was based on the movie because I think you fight Gozer at the end of it.
Oh, awesome.
So,
Gozerian.
Yeah,
I got you.
But
did it actually have? Did it have the voice acting of the same stars?
I do not. Remember. I don't remember. It's been too long.
Yeah,
but I remember playing.
Didn't have voice acting then.
That's one of the few games that at the arcade I played it all the way to the end, more than once.
Speaking of voice acting, one that I know that Michael is a fan of,
fucking
Altered Beast.
Useless.
Rise from your grave.
Rise from your grave. Excuse me, Lucky Hawk. Man, I'm just totally off today. Lucky.
You have to bleep these out.
I'll bleep these out. As long as I don't let them that your last name is Matthews.
I almost wore my Altered Beast shirt today. I did not, but I thought about it for a second. I was like, yeah, I'll go with this one.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
But it still showed up.
That was the
Welcome to your doom.
That's the first Sega Genesis game I ever played.
Oh,
Ever.
man. What was your favorite change? Like, of all the beasts? Wolf, dragon, bear.
I like the dragon. The dragon would dominate.
Yeah, because he could fly. And
he
he
just-
had electricity, and then he had the fire,
Yeah.
right?
I would do the cheat code where you could turn into whatever animal you wanted to per level. I'd just go dragon all the way. You just float above everything and kill everything.
Was this on Genesis?
Yeah.
Yep.
Was it a Game Genie code, or was it built
You
in?
can it's built in, man.
Holy shit, that's an awesome code. Do you remember what it was off the top of your head?
No. But it does exist. I promise you that.
Like, some of them you never forget, like Abacab for Sega Genesis.
Yeah,
You'll
or
always
up,
remember
down,
that.
down. Yeah.
Left, right, BA, select, start, if your buddy's there. The Altered Beast was awesome. It had great... Like, I think it actually sounded fairly normal in the arcade, but when it got ported to Genesis, like, he got a speech impediment.
Yeah.
Wise formula
Limitation.
wave. Yeah.
Well, I will say this: those two last games were wildly popular. Mortal Kombat, obviously, one of the most popular games of all time. Altered Beast as well. One game that I absolutely love, and I know you loved it too, but it's kind of lost because it was only arcade, and it's my game, man. Lucky and Wild. Lucky and Wild. It was a driving game.
one shot, one drove.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember.
One of them had long blonde hair, right?
Yes,
I remember that
yeah.
now. I remember that
Yeah,
game. It
you
took me... God damn, that's old. I forgot about that
You
shit.
sit down in it. One guy's driving and shooting. The other guy's shooting. That's all it was.
It has the turbo too. I remember.
Yeah.
There was just the gun
The
there,
turbine
right?
goes.
Yes.
When you're
Dude.
going, yeah.
I gotta find a
That's-
picture of this while you're talking
That's a
about it.
game that you will never. I mean, it's lost because you can't port that here. You got to
Right.
have that game. I mean, there's no way to make that work on a console or even main.
I'm trying to remember if I beat that game. I don't remember. I know it took a lot of tokens, if so.
Yeah. I never
Just
beat
take
it,
a look
but-
at this cover art right here. I'm going to post this on the Facebook
Yeah.
page so everybody can
That's-
see.
you
Look at
should-
his face.
Dude,
Look,
that-
that's got to be Wild because he has
Yeah.
the long
Oh,
hair.
he's so wild.
Look
He has
at
long
Wild's face in proportion. He has the
He's so
biggest hair.
Yeah.
His hair is fucking gigantic.
But you know, Lucky and Wild, that may have inspired me in my own name. I don't know, maybe subconscious.
Now there's a better picture where it's just like, come
Yeah.
on, guys.
a couple of bad dudes right
He
there.
kind of looks like Biff from Saturday Night Slam Master.
He does.
Biff Slamkovich, I think was his
Yeah.
name. Did you guys ever play that?
Oh yeah, Saturday Night Slam Master's awesome.
I don't remember if Aladdin's Castle ever had that. I was introduced to it on Super
Look at that
Nintendo.
console, though.
Let me
I mean,
bring this up.
I mean, there's
Son of a bitch!
There's no way to recreate that experience for the modern generation unless you just have that game.
That's one where you would just actually have to buy it and then put it back together.
Yeah.
What was that jet game? Ace Combat? The first one, maybe?
Afterburner?
No, it wasn't Afterburner. I was bad at it. I was good at the other one. I think it was Ace Combat. I was really good at that
I'm
one.
gonna look
That
that
was
up.
also.
Keep talking about it. I'll verify it while you're talking.
Oh shit! What was the tank game that was there? Do you remember? It had the two things. It had the tank controls where you slide them up and down.
Oh my god, I used to love that game too. I can't
Oh
remember.
man, I'd always play a fast one, but I was terrible at it. I'd just get blown up in one shot. Cause I had
Yeah.
a weak
Air
armor.
Combat.
Air Combat's the
Yeah,
one I'm
here we
thinking
go.
of the jet one. That
Yeah,
one.
that's
That
the
one
one.
I was good at. I don't know the name of the tank game that was there. though.
Holy shit, look at that cockpit, dude.
Yep.
That's a big cockpit.
I know. That's like you
That's
can't.
it.
Once you pass like the age of 9, the word cockpit is not the same anymore.
Yeah.
Like back when you're a kid, you're like, "Oh, cool, it's a jet cockpit." But now when you say it, you're just like, "Look at all those penises in that hole." Penis hole.
I can't remember the name of that game with the tanks. It was great though.
Let me look up Tank Arcade Game.
Tank arcade game. Maybe that was the name of it. It was a simpler
Did
time.
you ever play Tank?
I remember the one that I played. The mech looked like a spider, but I don't remember what it was.
Battle Zone? No, that's 80s. 1980 video game.
Well,
Does that look like it? Is that it?
That I think that is it. That's
see if I can
it.
blow
But there were
this
two
up.
of them linked to each other. The one where I
Desert Tank. Is that it? By Sega Genesis?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't remember.
who knows?
I don't remember.
Who knows? Anyway, the Tank game was awesome. Everybody loved the Tank game.
The tank game. Do you guys remember? I want to say it's L.A. Guns, the one where.
That was an awesome band
Yeah.
out of...
I think that
I
was the
know-
name of it. Wasn't it L.A. Guns? It was a little. It was.
I think so.
It was
actually.
in the, I think it was early 2000s though when that one came out, but which is I know it's not
The
exactly
shooting
that.
game?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
The
remember.
guns vibrated. The
Oh,
score
yeah.
vibrated. Man, that was an awesome game. Maybe not in the retro sense, but
L.A. Machine Gun.
Machine Gun.
That's it.
Not to be confused with Motor City Machine Guns.
Yep.
Or LA Guns.
Or LA Guns featuring what was the guy's name? It was like Tracy Guns, I think. That's how you know you're the bad motherfucker in the band. If your name is part of the band. It's like Guns N' Roses. There's Axl Rose. Man, I love Judge. Oh, there's Mike Judge. Not to be confused with Beavis and Butthead, of course.
What was that?
Or Kip Winger, right, guys?
Okay, there's one exception to the rule. What is a Winger song? I always get them fucking mixed up with Warrant.
I've blocked it all out of my head. So
Is that Here I Go Again on My Own? Was that Winger?
no.
That was White Snake.
Yeah.
White Lion. See, we're getting old because I can't remember shit.
Yeah. Well, it's that early onset Alzheimer's, I think.
What are we talking about?
You know what that reminds me of? Talking about old bands and then the shooting game?
What?
The Aerosmith game.
Oh,
That was a good one.
it was. What was it called?
Revolution X.
Revolution
or something.
X.
That's
Yeah,
it.
man. That was actually a fun game.
It was fun.
It was fun.
That
Fired
game-
the CDs with the
It's a
missile
game.
button.
It's a game that's better than the band it was made for.
Yeah. Zing! Ladies and gentlemen, he is not a fan of Aerosmith.
They're okay.
What does Aerosmith even mean? Do you make something in the air?
It's you forge weapons from the air itself.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
It sounds awesome.
The Wind Blade.
Their name is better than their band.
Steven Tyler looks like somebody's really old mother trying to still be cool.
Yeah. Have you seen Steven Tyler's feet? Of course you haven't. You need to Google that. That's
Why do I want to...
just Google it.
Okay, because you're here.
Listeners at home, go ahead and you do the old clickety clackety with the old keyboard.
I was hoping it would be one of the first Google things, like when you type in some stuff.
Steven Tyler's feet. Oh, yeah, there it is.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, I don't know.
How does that happen? Why is he painting his toenails?
I don't know. It's like his feet are making a promise to someone.
That's true.
That is insane.
Yeah.
How? That must be a medical condition or
And you
something.
think if your feet were that messed up, why wear, disgusting sandals? I mean, cover
Well,
them.
maybe he's like one of those avant-garde artists. It's like, I ate a bunch of dye, so now I'm going to poop out blue shit on this paper.
Yeah, that sounds like
Wait a
Steven
second.
Tyler.
Yep.
I'm curious. I don't remember. Did he or did he not wear very small boots back in the day?
Oh,
Because
I
that
can
might
see
be
what
what
you're
did it to
getting
his
at.
feet.
He's a
And
Chinese
now he's like,
foot binding.
now he's like, fuck it, I'm wearing sandals.
I hear that's how Prince died. The boots.
Oh!
Too soon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, everything's too soon for me. I'm like, I'm going to say, oh, no matter what it is. Oh, that's mean.
Let's see. What other? Narc?
No.
Oh, the arcade version.
I still have that game on my laptop as we speak.
Yeah.
And you know what makes Narc for me? The walk.
Yeah.
You can't see this, but if you played Narc, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. They do like this little Broadway musical dance with their machine guns, and nobody walks like that.
I don't know. I think cops walk like that.
They
don't
do? Well,
Yeah.
they can because they're cops. And I remember the first stage main enemy was a heroin dealer / flasher. And he was
Threw
naked.
the needles at you.
He would open his trench coat where he was naked, and needles would fly out and stab you.
Guys, it was a very accurate representation of the drug war. of
Like,
the
Yes.
80s,
like the
guys.
last guy in the wheelchair that turned into a big thing and shot tongues at
Yeah,
you.
his
Yeah.
giant head.
Giant head. That's
At that point, you've arrested so many people and you've frisked them and you keep getting drugs into your system.
yeah, exactly.
So by stage 3, you're just making this shit up. It's not real anymore.
Freaking out.
Man.
None of it's real.
Oh fuck! I gotta play that game again. That shit was so great. And like that was back when if you were a police officer, it was considered uniform to wear neon red motorcycle vest, neon red motorcycle helmet
Carry a machine gun around.
Yeah.
And just kill whoever.
at all times.
What was the other?
Why didn't they make that into a movie? That would be an awesome movie.
That's not
The
too
other
late.
one that always
It's
hurt
not.
the arcade, Crackdown. You're busted. No.
Oh my god! I want to look that up.
Crackdown.
Do you remember
I
Crackdown?
don't remember Crackdown.
Tell us
I
about
remember-
Crackdown, Shane.
I remember it's another game like that where you went through and fucking shot people. That's all I remember. The thing from you hear it all across the road. You're busted.
I vaguely remember that. Let me see if I can.
Well, speaking of that, this relates to that. God, how about that symbol that would come up at the beginning of every arcade game? Like
FBI.
Oh
Yeah.
don't do
God, that's so.
Winners don't do drugs. Yes.
I had to put that on every game.
Hey guys, that screen worked for Evan Jones. It worked for one guy. I was like, okay, you know what? Bad Dude said that I need to eat hamburgers and save the president, but not do drugs. And that's what I've done. I saved the president of some fan club somewhere.
So you're saying the Reagan administration did something right?
No, I would have saved him, but only if he paid me in hamburgers. Otherwise, I'd be like, fuck that guy. He didn't give me a hamburger. But I am a bad enough dude to save the president. Speaking of which, Bad Dudes, outstanding game.
Outstanding arcade game, not so good port on the NES. Though,
No.
because it's one player.
Side note, now in the days of cell phones, you can make your own ringtones. For the longest time, when I got a text message, it would go, boom, bam! Super loud, which was one of my favorite noises of all time. That would be when you clear the stage, you would throw your fist in the air and say, I'm bad.
Yep.
Do you guys remember 2 Crude Dudes?
On Sega Genesis,
Yes.
I beat the fuck out of that game. Because you would punch the shit out of the Coke machine and you would get the sodas for free.
What a great message.
Yeah, it doesn't really work that way. I've tried, trust me. I was a little impressionable in my youth, and I have punched a few Pepsi machines, and it totally did not work. Maybe I just didn't punch them hard enough. I'll follow up on that later.
The real way to usually, I don't know if it still works, because I don't see many soda machines around. And they probably take dollars now, so you probably wouldn't find any coins anyway. It's like, I'm thirsty. Let me look under the machine. Oh, $4. Because the quarters were all in there, nobody leaned down to get them.
That's ingenious.
Yeah, it's just like, need a soda. There we go. Cha-ching, cha-ching.
I'll think about that next time I'm somewhere.
I was hoping you were going to say what you need to do is the old Donald Duck trick where you have the coin attached to the string and you just keep...
I think Donald Duck ruined that for humanity.
Yeah.
Donald asshole. Donald fuck.
Put the pants on.
But let's go back to 2 Crude Dudes. That had like one of the weirdest storylines. It was a slightly normal society that was post-apocalyptic. Like almost everything was still the same.
It was a slightly normal society, just post-apocalyptic.
Exactly. That's what made it so weird. It's like the apocalypse happened, but everything's still fine, except there's this one guy who's making filthy, disgusting, like, pig mutants that are killing everybody. And the only 2 people who want to fight it are, like, these 2 punk rockers.
Dudes.
Yeah, 2 punk rockers who have, like, almost the exact same outfit on, which was, like, a fucking vest and some jeans. And they would just beat everybody up with their fists. Which I've been trying to make that a living for so long, but I found out that when you punch people, they do not turn into coins. They turn you into the police. And,
Punch harder.
yeah. Then you turn into a killer. You turn into a murderer. Then you turn into a crying... I'm going to stop talking. But anyway, so 2 Crude Dudes, that was actually an arcade game. I don't know if you knew that.
I
Then it
did
was,
not.
yeah, I have that on my laptop
no.
as well. I have so many games on there, it's ridiculous. One of the most infuriating arcade experiences of all time, for me, was Shinobi. Because Shinobi,
man.
You got hit once, you're dead.
not even just that. Okay, Shinobi, there's 5 levels with sub-levels in them. 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, 1-4. The 4th one was where you fought the boss. If you make it to 5-2 and you die, and you put a coin in there, you hit start, you go back to 1-1. Up to that point, all of the continues will stay. So if you're on 4-4, you hit continue, you stay. 5-1, you continue, you stay. 5-2, all the way back to the beginning. So you had to make it through 5-2, 5-3, and 5-4 on all the lives that you've got throughout the game. Because if you don't,
Yeah.
only in the
Do they have a way
arcade.
to load it up with coins, maybe, or something?
It doesn't matter. You'd have to load it up with lives. You have to have like a whole bunch of extra lives in the thing because thankfully I found this out when it was on my laptop through MAME. So I just, on MAME, when you want to put in coins for the emulation, you just hit the number 5. So I'd had like 100 coins in there. So I was like, I'm going to beat this game no problem. So I'd spent hours and hours getting all the way there, and then I like died on 5-2 and went to the beginning of the game and was only about a third of as pissed as I would have been if I were in the arcade and sold it through with $20 worth of quarters. But
Oh, man.
that's some bullshit.
Yes.
And that's on every difficulty setting. Trust me, I checked.
Ikari Warriors is like that too.
Really?
Yeah,
I never beat Ikari Warriors.
I didn't either, but there's a code that you can put in. I think it's like ABBA, and it lets you like continue on Nintendo. It works on every stage except the last one.
I've also heard that allows you to change from Ikari Warriors into like Swedish people who sing, kind of like dance stuff. Yeah, ABBA.
Oh, I get it. Like
yeah,
ABBA.
yeah, ABBA.
Right?
ABBA.
That's why it was called the Ikari Warriors, because that means anger warriors.
Ikari?
Yep, Ikari. Or it could mean anchor, but I'm pretty sure it means anger warriors. But so it's like I see why they call it this, because when you get to the end, you're like,
yeah, you become an angry warrior. You try to kill the people who made the game. And they later on showed up in King of Fighters 94, I think was the first.
Yep. Ralph and Clark.
Yeah. Yeah. Before that, did they even have names in the original game, or was it just the two guys?
I don't know. Maybe, because I didn't read the manual, but I'm pretty sure. Ikari Warriors and Ikari Warriors 2. I don't know if there's any more after that.
Yeah, there's 3
Okay.
on NES, I think.
Excellent.
Of course, I could be making this up. Who knows?
Okay, so let's see. Some more video
Come
games.
on, let's fight! That was the thing that they said.
Let's all pick one more game to talk about, then we'll go on to our last piece of business.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys ever played this. It was at the at the last Namco Timeout arcade that we had in Macon for a while. Dungeons and Dragons, the beat 'em up. Did you either of you play that?
No.
Who was in it?
You had thief, dwarf, warrior, sorcerer. One was Realms Over Mystara, I think.
I don't think I played that one now.
Let me look them up, because both of them are fucking solid games. Dungeons and Dragons.
What was the one that was there, though, that had Lord Demos? I remember that one. Lord Demos! Eisenkus.
Not Mace of the Dark Age.
I think
Dark
that's
Realm?
it. Something like that. Mace of the Dark Age or Dark Realm or something like that. Yeah.
Okay, so hold on. I'm going to come up with this Dungeons and Dragons game, then we're going to figure out what the fuck the name of that is. Okay, Dungeons and Dragons arcade game, Shadow over Mystara, and Tower of Doom was the other one. Okay.
Okay. I don't think I played it.
Mace of the Dark Age. Yeah, because it later got ported to Nintendo 64. Dude, we skipped so much fucking school to play that game and eat Sbarro's pizza.
Yep.
Remember that?
Sbarro's pizza.
We would seriously just leave school every day because I was 16. I had this death box of a car, and we would just go right to the mall and play Mace of the Dark Age. Mace of the Dark Age was basically Mortal Kombat for the Dark Ages.
Yep.
And you had the Executioner, you had Lord Demos. There was the Viking guy. What was the Viking guy's name? You remember?
I don't
He was a
remember.
berserker. There was the really hot belly dancer lady. Oh fuck! Who else was on that? I can't remember, but it was a great game.
Yeah.
And it had fatalities. It was after Mortal Kombat had made the impression on everybody. But it was one of the other games like, oh cool, this has fatalities as well. You know, like you had War Gods had fatalities, Time Killers.
Yeah.
Time Killers never got ported. Oh, what a game that was! Did you ever play Time Killers?
I did not play Time Killers, no.
So I'm going to say a game I don't think it was an arcade game, and I don't know how many people played it, but Eternal Champion CD
Oh, yeah.
for Sega CD.
Yes.
That was one of the greatest fucking fighting games.
Fucking A.
Underrated game. I don't think
Yes.
it never got a sequel either, did it? Was that very
Sega CD was the sequel to
That
the
was the
original
sequel,
Genesis
yeah.
game.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
had
it was.
Eternal Champions on Genesis, and then
But
you had the
Eternal
sequel.
Champion CD. It was
Okay.
fantastic. And back then with those Mortal Kombats, it had better fatalities than Mortal Kombat.
They had stage fatalities.
Stage fatalities as well.
Like I remember on the original one on Genesis, for Midnight Stage, you'd have to hit them in the right place, and they would fall down, and a fucking helicopter would fly through
Yeah.
the sky and shoot them to death, just like. Oh man, it was awesome.
The CD one had cutscenes. If you did a long enough combo, it would just play like a cutscene of their fatality.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was fantastic.
I remember sitting at our buddy Frank's house, and we were trying to unlock the secret chicken. Remember that shit? Crispy the chicken.
Yeah.
Did you ever play as Crispy, Michael?
I
mean, Lucky Hawk?
I never played as
Michael Matthews?
Crispy.
Crispy. There was something else too. It was like a dog or a fucking cow.
There
Some
was
other bullshit ass
Crispy,
animal.
and then there was the politician guy. Because he'd hit you with red tape, and
Are you serious?
it would reverse all your controls.
I'm looking this up right
And then
now.
he'd hit you with veto, and you couldn't use any of your moves.
Politician, Eternal Champions.
I don't know what his name was, but and his taunt was, "I'm not a crook."
Challenge from the Dark Side. That was the name of the game. Okay, so let's see. Let's go through what else. They had pretty specific. They each had taunts, right? That was another big thing.
The girl that had the sash was Pig. And
Simpleton.
Simpleton. That was the magic guy, whatever his name was.
That guy's name was Senator.
Senator. That's it.
Riptide was the other one I was thinking of. It was a fucking dinosaur. Hooter, the owl.
Riptide was the pirate chick.
Riptide, yeah.
That's the pirate chick.
Yappy, the dog.
That was the dog. You remember like the special move for the chicken?
No, I don't.
You do it, and the farmer would run out there and cut your head off, and you jump around with blood spurting out, attacking people.
That's awesome. Holy shit.
He did egg foo. That was his fighting style. I remember.
Egg foo Yang. How about? I wonder if that's where they got that from. That should be where they got it from.
And another game, if we want to talk about games that people probably never played, it was also on Sega CD. Revengers of Vengeance, with the freaking anime cutscene, fucking intros and
oh my god,
and endings. I love it. My egg, Harpy chick.
I have to bring this up because I always get it fucked up with the other one that has like all the animal people in it. Revengers of Vengeance.
Not. Fuck, I can't remember. Bloody Roar. Is that what you're thinking of?
Or Brutal. There's one called Brutal.
Oh, that might be the one he's thinking.
Okay, here we go. I see Revengers of Vengeance now.
Has a huge fucking rhinoceros guy and everything. Yep, that's him.
Here you go. That's Revengers of Vengeance.
I'll
be putting all these pictures up on the Offender's Facebook.
That was a good game. I loved that game.
Man, that Chinese kung fu chick's pretty hot. Holy shit! Is that supposed to be Deedlit from Lodos Wars?
Maybe.
Right there,
I
totally
remember
looks
her
like
now.
her.
Yeah. I don't remember what her story was. I remember the harpy was looking for an egg.
Alice, that was her name. Elise. I probably totally said that wrong. All right, so any other games you want to mention? Lucky Hawk.
Well, I did.
Michael Matthews.
I did totally enjoy the WrestleMania, the arcade game.
Oh man,
was that the motion capture one that was similar?
Yes.
That had fatalities.
By acclaim.
Yes.
So it was essentially Mortal Kombat meets wrestling.
It was great.
Shane, would you please give us the Vince McMahon pre-game announcement of the announcement of the match?
I don't remember if it did it in the arcade, but the one that was on, what was it on?
Sega and Super, I think, both had them.
Because I remember we were playing at Frank's house, and it's like when you went up against everybody, it's like versus Razor Ramon and Bam Bam Bigelow and The Undertaker and the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels and Doink the Clown.
Yeah. It's so awesome because it was Vince McMahon's voice.
That was good.
What was the other one that had the Ultimate Warrior in it? It was more cartoony. What was that game? It was WWF.
The one with the big tag button?
Yeah.
It was either WrestleFest.
WrestleFest, that's what it was.
They had another one, I think it was Superstars.
It might have been Superstars.
I think it's Superstars. Yeah. I think it was Superstars with the Ultimate
All of those
Warrior.
were great too.
Yeah.
Was that a 4-player game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was.
I think that was a 4-player game.
Mm-hmm.
This has nothing to do with the arcade, but we would be amiss if we did not mention Fire Pro Wrestling, which is the greatest
You can make your own character.
bootleg wrestling game ever. Because they would take all of the famous wrestlers and slightly change their names. So the Great Muta would be like the Great Nuda. N-E-W-T-A.
And you could go in and change their name to the Great Muta.
Yeah, exactly. But one of the most tasteless things that I ever saw was on Fire Pro Wrestling on the original PlayStation. Was right after Hawk died. They called him Undead Warrior, and his skin was gray.
Oh,
and I was like, "Oh man, come on, give him a break! You make fun of him for drinking the whole time, then he dies, and you do that. Give me a break."
Oh man.
Okay, let's not end it on a down note because that was too good. Fire Pro Wrestling was good. Shane, help me out. Was the game called Area 51 the wrestling game on PlayStation. Did you remember that?
Not familiar.
The only Area 51 knows that shooting game.
That horrible shooting
Area
game.
Area 88? No.
Area 88 is an anime, I think.
Area 51 was the one where he shot the aliens.
Yeah. Area 88, I think, is an anime, too. So.
PlayStation wrestling game.
Hangar 18, that was it.
I know too much. Love the old Dave Mustaine there for you. Power Move. Power Move Pro Wrestling on the PlayStation. A very underrated, fucking awesome wrestling game. And if you like more wrestling, make sure that you listen to iRake Radio. But let's we've been nice so far, so let's get offensive.
We're gonna get offensive.
We're gonna get offensive.
Folk.
There's something I've been wanting to talk about. And it has to do with Target. All right, so just hear me out. Hear me out. This is an era of political correctness, and you need to be sensitive to the needs of everybody. Okay? I understand that. But fuck that. I'm going to be real right now. We're the fucking offenders, and I'm about to get offensive. When I walk into the fucking bathroom at Target, okay, I don't want to feel uncomfortable. Because somebody else feels comfortable in there. And there's only one reason that that's happening. And I'm not afraid to say what that reason is. The reason is the bathroom cleaner smells exactly like Fruity Pebbles. And Fruity Pebbles is a delicious part of your nutritious breakfast, and I don't want to go into a bathroom where I leave shit and pee-pee and smell something that I eat. Am I wrong?
I see what you're saying. There was
Target, give me a fucking break. I don't want to smell delicious Fred Flintstone's Fruity Pebbles where I go pee-pee. I mean, that's what the problem is, right? People don't want to go to Target because the fucking toilets smell like...
They smell too good.
That's what I did read, yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And I mean, I'm sorry if that offends you, but fuck you. At least it doesn't smell like Cocoa Pebbles, because then it looks like shit. You know what I mean? But seriously though, the big stink, pun intended, about the bathrooms is now that anybody can go into any bathroom they want, right? There's a problem there. You know, it's not that perverts are going to go into the bathroom and look at people using the bathroom. It's women are going to understand the pain of sitting on a pee-pee covered toilet. Until now, they didn't have to worry about that because everybody sits on the fucking toilet stall in the women's room, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you guys know about women using the bathroom, right?
Of course, I'm an expert.
I've heard that they do use the bathroom.
They do. And it doesn't smell good. But the point is, now that they've opened it up, all they're asking for is pee-pee on the seat. So I hope that makes you happy, women, men, women, men, women with an A, women with a Y, I believe is the spelling. So now I'm going to go in the women's room and pee all over the seat. Be like, you want equality? Here you go. And just like Danny McBride in This Is the End, I'm going to wipe it off with my shoe, which just smears the pee everywhere.
You could take a dump in the sink.
I could. Or even better, you know, the women's room have I learned this last year. I went into the women's room, and they have tiny little trash cans
Full of tampons.
Full of tampons.
Yeah. Bloody tampons.
Bloody tampons. Not like British people. This is bloody tampons. No, it's literally bloody tampons.
Disgusting.
So you could poop in there instead.
Oh my god.
That would improve it.
Yeah, you'd have shit and blood, just like prison.
Yeah.
But seriously, that's like people are making such an issue out of this, and it's just like, who cares?
So is it just one bathroom now?
I think they don't care which bathroom you go into. Like, if you're a man, you can walk into the women's room because you feel like a woman that day.
Okay.
Like, this is why I don't think it's an issue. For the most part, when I think about a woman being sexually attractive, I don't think about a giant turd hanging out of her ass. And I don't think about pee-pee shooting out of her hoo-ha. Okay? Now, I could see this might be an issue if you want to go into the fitting room. Which I might do. Because I might feel like a woman when I go... No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, though. Does anybody... Is this an... It's like, seriously.
The people who would do it would probably do it when you're not allowed in the bathroom. So,
right?
So that's the thing that gets me with stuff like that. But I mean, I guess if you wanted to make one, then anybody just make them all stalls. Then it won't matter. You can't see anything.
That's a good point.
That just solves the problem.
They could do it like Ally McBeal and just have the one bathroom.
That's right. That's what Kroger does. Kroger says, well, this is a unisex for people who need to A, change the diapers of their children, B, take the small child into the stall.
Or have sex.
Or have sex. I've never had sex in a bathroom. Either of you?
No.
Not with another girl. No.
Just with yourself? Yeah, okay. That doesn't really count.
In your house.
Yeah. Like the WWF, you went to an in your house and you jerked off there? Yeah.
Which is another good game on the Sega Saturn.
That's awesome.
To be in your house.
I never had a Sega Saturn.
I did.
I totally
didn't have
missed
many
the boat.
games on it, but I had it.
It's still highly touted as one of the greatest ones. Like that and the Dreamcast still go for
man.
Dreamcast. I still have my Dreamcast.
So do I.
Know why Dreamcast ruled aside from all the games? You could download a game from the internet, and because I had no region coding or protection, you could just burn it to a CD and you have the game.
Yeah, that may have been a huge flaw in the...
Yeah, burn and return. That's what I did.
That Lotus War game on there, I remember playing it. I beat that game so many times trying to get an ending where you didn't die. There is no ending where you don't die.
You just die.
There is no
like
ending.
Gauntlet.
Like you beat the whole game and you're just like, oh, congratulations, you're dead. Well, fuck you.
We need to find whoever made that and then just go to their house, like on fucking Guardians. I mean, on Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. There's that one guy who lives forever, and he decides he's going to find every single person in the galaxy and just walk up to them and go, "You are a jerk," and then just leave. That's what we're going to do to that guy's house. We're going to go to his house and be like, "You are a jerk."
Oh, man.
That's how I'm going to live forever.
Oh, man.
So I think that's about it. We're right at an hour, boys. Lucky Hawk, Michael Matthews. Anything else you want to add? Anything else you want to talk about?
Blankmaninc.com, BlankManinc.com. Go there, click some links, read some things.
Okay.
That's it.
Shane?
I got nothing. Nothing.
Do you know that Shane lives in a cave?
Where's your cave at?
It's a secret. I live in an underground ninja village.
No joke. In order to get to Shane's house, you have to break through somebody's fence first off, and then you have to walk back into the woods.
Really?
And then in order to gain access to his house, there's a string with a nail tied to it, and you pull the string with the nail tied to it. And much like Pee-wee's Big Adventure, there's a series of things that happen in the house, none of which are a doorbell, that let him know that you have arrived.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah. So I'm going to take you there one day and show you. And that's where he lives. Shane does not have a Twitter. Shane does not have a Facebook.
Nope.
His cell phone?
Nope.
He did for a while.
How do you get in contact with Shane then?
You break in through the fence and you walk back into the woods. There's a string with the nail. That's seriously how you get in contact with him. He's completely off the grid, except for his computer.
There's lots
which is totally on the grid.
It's on the grid, but I'm not ever on anything like that.
What about email?
Like emails, well, when I check it.
Yes.
It's not, see, here's the thing, like, no one sends me anything, so I don't check it. And then like, okay, I need to check it, and I'll check, and then I don't get anything. I'm like, well, I guess I don't need to check it, and I forget about it again.
Do you still check it every Saturday?
Yes. Well, now I do because we're doing podcasts and stuff, so I was like, I better check and see if I got an email.
Throughout the week, bless his heart, I send him like 15 emails. It's like, all right, I'm going to be over there Saturday at 1 p.m. The next day, sorry, dude, I'm not going to be over there Saturday at 1 p.m. It's going to be Saturday at 5 p.m. 2 days later, I'm not going to be able to be over there at 5 p.m. It's going to be a little bit closer, somewhere between 7 and 9.
The best part of that is like, I only get like the last one anyway because I don't check it in time.
Yeah. Okay, so that's not so bad.
Like the one like for yesterday when it changed, I was like, I wonder where Evan is. Let me check the email. Oh, it changed. Okay.
So is it? Do you have some sort of apprehension of making a Facebook or a
I mean, what am I going to do? I don't want to talk to people I don't know. I talk to the people I do know. I want to talk to the people that I do know, and if I want to talk to them, I just talk to them.
Like in real life.
Yeah. And besides the fact, I'm always like, no one's interested in what the fuck I'm doing. Why do I need to tell them what I'm doing?
Commendable.
They don't give a shit what I'm doing.
Now, if you look up his name on Facebook, I'm not giving out the last name, There was previously a picture of a white man doing the hip hop like squat down pose in front of a bunch of azaleas.
Yeah.
So that was what we put up on Facebook for a while, but it still wasn't him.
I think
You had a MySpace
I
for
did
a while,
have a
didn't you?
MySpace.
Yeah.
I did.
What about a GeoCities? Maybe an AOL hometown page I can get at you?
No, see, I was on AOL back in the chat room days.
I will say
I
this.
still have the same email address.
His email address is still AOL.com.
Yeah.
But if you want to go to a good GeoCities website, go to dads, the number 4, real.geocities.com. And there you can meet dads who know about tenderness, care, loving, and affection. Hashtag find your connection. There's like 3 people who are going to get that joke, and I hope it made their day.
I certainly didn't get it.
There's a great podcast called Talking Shop. And basically, for those of you who still watch wrestling, on WWE, you have Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. They have had, when they were over in Japan, they had a podcast called Talking Shop where they just talked about being a couple of southern dudes who are getting used to living in Japan, which is fucking hilarious. And most of it is just them talking in redneck voices over each other and being drunk, which is great. But they made a fake sponsor for their own podcast because nobody would sponsor their podcast. So they made like this slightly homoerotic like dad's website. And it was like at GeoCities, which hasn't existed since what, 1999?
I think that's the last, yeah.
Because like, even if like, I think Internet Archive, if you know what that is, it's got a couple of GeoCities websites there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But man, GeoCities. How about Tripod? Does that still exist?
Yeah. Members.tripod, whatever, yeah. I'm sure you can find something on there.
Man, that's got me thinking back to the fucking AOL days where it's like, all right, I need to sign in before other people do and never sign out. Because if I do, I'm never going to reconnect.
Right?
It'll be busy for forever.
That was the fucking worst. What else is gone? Remember Lycos? It was like
Lycos, go get it.
Yeah, it was the search. You had Ask Jeeves.
Ask Jeeves.
I think that's still around, isn't it? It's just Jeeves.com now.
Yeah.
Web crawler.
Oh, yeah.
Excite.
Yeah.
Fucking A, man.
Musicboulevard.com.
Music Boulevard. Oh, man. Here's something else that nobody remembers that I fucking used to love. I fucking forgot the name. I don't even remember it. And that's the end of the podcast. I'm going to remember it. What was the fucking jukebox? It was Jukebox. Jukebox. You would call an 800 number.
Oh, I got in trouble for that.
You'd call an 800 number and you would request a video by typing it into the phone, and it would charge your phone bill.
Yes, it
and
would.
Shane, it sounds like you charge just as many videos
sir.
on yours that I... Do you...
Let me...
Video they showed.
I requested Danzig, Cannibal Corpse, Snow, Informer about 8,000 times.
How did you see it, though?
You would call on your phone and you would type it in and you would be queued. So it would show.
You just watch the channel and you call in and it'll tell you.
Yeah, it was a TV channel.
Yeah, it's a new TV channel.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like a full request MTV, and it was like $2 to play a video.
Yep. That probably closed down for the complaints of every parent in the entire United States.
I actually requested Informer by Snow so much that I wrote down all of the lyrics because they would scroll across the bottom, and I memorized it. There are like 7 rap songs total in the world that I like, and that is one of them.
You know the one I requested over and over again?
What's that?
Fucking Ninja Rap.
Ninja Rap! Yes!
Because the Ninja Turtles had just came out.
Hell yeah,
and I was
dude.
like, oh, gotta watch the Ninja Turtles music video.
That's awesome.
Something that was from Batman, too, I kept requesting. I don't remember which one it was, though. I think it was the Prince song. Wasn't it Prince? Didn't he have one?
What was the Prince song from Batman?
Black and white.
He had a whole
red
album.
and green.
He had a whole album that was Batman.
Son of a bitch. I gotta go back and listen to that too. Rest in peace. Please forgive Lucky Hawk for that joke. Any other dead people you want to make some jokes about? China. Who else died?
China's dead.
Tim Buck says she goes into the Hall of Fame next year.
Maybe.
You know, she made a porn where she banged like all of the Hall of Famers on the porn.
She did?
Yeah, they should show that during the Hall of Fame.
Oh man.
I'm not even gonna lie. Her fake tits looked marvelous.
Well,
She got a good boob job.
her giant clitoris is magnificent.
That was all steroid induced though. That was a different kind of unnatural.
Yeah.
Yeah. God rest her soul.
Yeah.
Huh?
You're not going to top giant clitorises. What's the plural of that? Clitorises?
Clitori.
Clitori? What's the plural of compact?
Catcher in the clitori.
That is going to be the next movie that comes out.
Catcher in the
clitori. Yes.
Xbox, dude.
Oh! That's not the only place you got it. And that's the end of this podcast. So until next time, he's not Michael Matthews. He's Lucky Hawk at blankmaninc.com. BLANKMANINC.com. I'm Evan at Facebook.com/the Tengu Ninja. And
I'm Shane at someplace that's undisclosed.
yes, off the
Cinema
grid.
smoke signal.
A Smoke Signal. Another great song by For the Fallen Dreams. Peace!